I do think that the whole business, the industry is changing dramatically and rapidly because of our availability with regard to the internet. The internet has changed everything. You can go online, you can Google, put in one word, and there is more news and information than you could ever possibly read in one day. So I do think that the line has blurred a little bit with regard to news, public relations. And I think it's our job in the business that we're in to try to still be very careful about sourcing. You know, making sure that the information that we put up, either on the air, put on the radio, put on TV, and on the internet is accurate. You know, I really care about that. That's my biggest problem nowadays with that, because it's bothersome. I know that the blogging is good and the texting is good and the Twittering is good. I'm all about that. I think wonderful promotional tools, but you really have to be careful, because people start blogging or Twittering or Facebooking and they hear something and they put it up and it ends up being a very unfortunate rumor, and it's something that can be very damaging to people and or businesses. So I think as people in the news business and the media, we have a responsibility to still be very, very careful what we put up on the different sites. One of the keys for public relations people is to get to know the main producers, columnists, writers, even the main anchors in the town in which they work. You know, that's really the first step. So if you're a public relations person and you come into a city, no matter where it is, it's going to be the same formula. Make it a point to sit down and start talking to all those different people. And, you know, tell them who you are. Tell them what your goal is. Ask them if they could help you. And do it slowly. You know, don't push yourself on them and you know, be really aggressive with them. Just take the time. Get to know them first. And then say, hey, would you be interested in taking a look at this story? The other thing is, please come to us with an angle. You know, you've got to have an angle for a story. Don't just say that your business is doing this, this, and this. You have to kind of come up with a hook. And if you have a hook, if the business is doing something that's unique and different, you're going to get the publicity. It's kind of a no-brainer. So before you even put together a press release, think about ways that you can catch the media's attention. I actually think that public relations is a great business. I think it's a very cool thing to do, because companies are always going to need branding, and they're always going to need somebody to go out there and take the brand and sell it. You know what I mean? Not just sell it in terms of money and dollars and things like that, but to sell it to the public. And so it's a very good field. If you have any interest that way and you're a writer, it's a very good field to be in. I think the best advice I can give is, as soon as you graduate is, or even before you graduate really, is try to get an internship. And the smartest thing is take a look at who the really big time names are in the public relations business, and go to them and say, you know, would you be willing to help me? And I will guarantee you they will. So, you know, interning is absolutely the key to getting a job in the public relations and the news business. And then once you get into the internship, the other key advice I have is work around the clock. Tell them that you would be willing to do whatever they need to get the job done. And don't just go with, you know, if the person says, I want you to do A, B, and C, why don't you, for a few minutes, take a look around and do D? Do something without being asked so that they notice you. You know, the best interns that I had were the ones that said, you know, I noticed your Rolodex needs updating. I'd be willing to do that for you. Can I just take the time and do that? Well, that would be the greatest thing in the world for somebody like me, and I have never forgotten who those interns are. The other thing is when you're finished with your internship, don't hesitate to say to people, you know, I need a job. Is there anybody that I should talk to? And more often than not, especially, Russ, in a tough economy, I think people are really willing to help, and I think they will help you. The other thing that I would recommend for people that are, you know, if you're out there looking for a job, is don't be afraid to go someplace else. You know, even if you have to go for a year or two, obviously we want you to stay in Michigan because obviously we don't want people to leave the state. But there's no harm, no harm, no foul if there's nothing here to say I'm going to go to another city, I'm going to go to another state, I'm going to get some experience, and I'm going to try to come back. Because don't just sit and say, you know, I can't find a job. And so therefore, you know, I don't know what to do, and maybe I should try another field. That's crazy. If you look and you try hard enough, you will find something. And the other key is, it may not be exactly what you want, but start in something, and then slowly move your way into the position that you really think fits your skill set.
We have more PR tips on video at youtube.com/MSUPRSSA.